So it's true then?
This is a counter-terrorism issue. Sam Nelson flew into Berlin yesterday. But just clear one thing up for me.
Everyone go to the front of the train now!
He's not involved, is he?
His name is Sam Nelson.
The second season of Hijack escalates the tension, scope, and psychological intensity that defined its debut, repositioning the series from a contained airborne crisis into a far more volatile urban nightmare. This time, the setting shifts from the skies to the underground arteries of Berlin, where a packed commuter train becomes the center of a meticulously orchestrated hostage situation. Hundreds of ordinary lives are instantly thrust into extraordinary danger, and the claustrophobic nature of the underground amplifies every moment of fear, uncertainty, and moral pressure. The series leans heavily into the idea that modern cities, with all their systems and safeguards, remain terrifyingly vulnerable when a single plan goes wrong or a single decision is delayed by seconds. At the heart of this unfolding disaster is Sam Nelson, once again portrayed by Idris Elba, whose return anchors the season both emotionally and narratively. Sam is not presented as a traditional action hero. Instead, he is a man forced into leadership by circumstance, intuition, and the weight of responsibility. Trapped aboard the hijacked train, he must navigate the psychology of the hostage-takers, the fear of the passengers, and his own internal conflict, knowing that every choice he makes could mean survival or catastrophe. The series continues to emphasize realism over spectacle, focusing on the human cost of crisis situations rather than easy resolutions or exaggerated heroics. The Berlin underground setting introduces a new layer of complexity to the narrative. Unlike an aircraft sealed miles above the ground, the train exists within a living city, constantly intersecting with control rooms, emergency services, political pressures, and public panic. Authorities scramble to respond, but the enclosed tunnels, limited visibility, and unpredictable movement of the train make intervention incredibly risky. The season explores how communication breakdowns, jurisdictional conflicts, and time pressure can cripple even the most advanced response systems. This environment transforms the hijacking into a multi-front crisis, unfolding simultaneously on the train, in command centers, and across the city above. The hostage-takers themselves are depicted with unsettling precision, avoiding simplistic motivations and instead presenting a calculated threat driven by strategy, leverage, and psychological manipulation. Their control over the situation feels frighteningly fragile, where tension does not come from constant violence, but from the looming possibility of it. The series thrives on these quiet, suffocating moments where silence is more dangerous than noise and fear spreads faster than any weapon. Each interaction between captors and captives adds another layer of unpredictability, reinforcing the idea that chaos does not need explosions to be devastating. Season 2 also deepens its exploration of collective fear and moral compromise. Passengers are no longer just background victims. They are individuals with conflicting instincts, personal secrets, and breaking points. Some seek cooperation, others resistance, and a few are driven by desperation into choices that complicate an already volatile situation. The train becomes a microcosm of society under pressure, where trust erodes quickly and survival instincts challenge ethical boundaries. These interpersonal dynamics add emotional weight, ensuring that the stakes remain personal even as the scale of the crisis grows. Behind the scenes, the production continues under the collaboration of 60/40 Films and Idiot Lamp Productions, reinforcing the creative continuity that made the first season resonate. Executive producers Jamie Lawrenson, Hakan Kuseta, and Tom Nash, alongside Kay and Field Smith, shaped the series with a clear commitment to grounded storytelling and sustained tension. Fieldsmith's role as lead director brings a cohesive visual and narrative rhythm, balancing fast-paced urgency with deliberate, suspenseful restraint. The direction favors realism, using confined spaces, controlled pacing, and sharp performances to maintain intensity without relying on excess. The returning ensemble cast strengthens the emotional continuity of the series. Christine Adams, Max Beasley, and Archie Punjabi reprise their roles, each bringing familiarity and depth to a story that now operates on a broader canvas. Their characters are shaped by the aftermath of previous events, carrying emotional scars, professional consequences, and unresolved questions into the new crisis. This sense of continuity reinforces the idea that hijacking is not an isolated event, but a ripple that permanently alters lives and institutions. New cast additions expand the narrative perspective and inject fresh energy into the series. Christian and the Claire Hope Ashidi, Lisa Vicari, Toby Jones, Karima McAdams, and Christiane Paul join the ensemble, each contributing distinct gravitas and complexity. Their characters occupy crucial positions within the crisis, from those directly trapped in the unfolding nightmare to those attempting to control, negotiate, or contain it from the outside. The casting choices emphasize range and credibility, ensuring that every performance feels grounded and purposeful rather than decorative. Toby Jones's presence, in particular, adds a layer of intellectual tension and moral ambiguity, while Lisa Vicari and Claire Hope Ashadi bring emotional immediacy and vulnerability to the narrative. Karima McAdams and Christiane Paul contribute authority and composure, reflecting the institutional response to catastrophe, while Christian and Lee's involvement adds an edge of unpredictability. Together, the expanded cast allows the series to explore multiple viewpoints without losing focus, weaving parallel threads that converge under mounting pressure. The plot structure of Season 2 is designed to sustain momentum over time, unfolding in near real time and maintaining the relentless pacing that defined the series' identity. Each episode builds upon the last with incremental escalations rather than abrupt twists, creating a sense of inevitability that keeps viewers on edge. The narrative resists easy solutions, constantly reminding the audience that crisis management is rarely clean or heroic. Instead, it is messy, morally complex, and often defined by imperfect choices made under impossible circumstances. Sam Nelson's character arc continues to evolve, shaped by the weight of past experiences and the burden of being the one others look to when everything goes wrong. Idris Elba's performance captures this internal struggle with remarkable subtlety, balancing authority with vulnerability. His portrayal earned critical recognition previously, and Season 2 leans into that strength by giving him material that demands emotional restraint rather than overt dramatics. Sam's power lies not in dominance, but in persuasion, empathy, and the ability to read people under pressure. Thematically, the season interrogates the illusion of control in modern society. Advanced infrastructure, surveillance, and emergency protocols are shown to be only as effective as the people operating them. One delayed signal, one misinterpreted order, or one misjudged negotiation can trigger irreversible consequences. The series highlights how fear travels faster than information, and how public perception can become as dangerous as the crisis itself. Media pressure, political interference, and institutional self-preservation all complicate the response, adding layers of tension beyond the physical threat. Visually, the underground setting allows for a darker, more oppressive aesthetic. Flickering lights, narrow corridors, and echoing tunnels contribute to a constant sense of confinement. The camera work emphasizes proximity, often lingering close to faces to capture fear, doubt, and resolve in equal measure. This visual language reinforces the emotional claustrophobia of the situation, making the audience feel trapped alongside the characters rather than observing from a safe distance. Sound design plays a critical role in sustaining suspense. The hum of the train, distant announcements, muffled communications, and sudden silences are used strategically to heighten anxiety. Dialogue is often restrained, allowing pauses and unfinished sentences to convey just as much meaning as spoken words. This careful control of auditory elements ensures that tension is ever present, even in moments where nothing overtly dangerous is happening. Season 2 of Hijack ultimately positions itself as a study in human behavior under extreme pressure. It asks uncomfortable questions about leadership, responsibility, and sacrifice, refusing to offer simplistic answers. The crisis aboard the Berlin Underground train becomes a lens through which broader societal anxieties are examined, from the fragility of public safety to the moral compromises demanded in the name of survival. The series trusts its audience to engage with these complexities, rewarding attention with a narrative that is both gripping and intellectually engaging. As the season unfolds, the sense of inevitability grows stronger, with every decision narrowing the range of possible outcomes. Hope and despair exist side by side, often separated by a single conversation or moment of hesitation. The writing maintains a disciplined focus, ensuring that each scene serves the central tension rather than distracting from it. This narrative precision allows the emotional impact to land with greater force, making each consequence feel earned and irreversible. In its second season, Hijack does not attempt to reinvent itself. Instead, it sharpens and expands the elements that made it compelling. By shifting locations, broadening the cast, and deepening its thematic focus, the series delivers a more complex and immersive experience without losing its core identity. It remains a tense, character-driven thriller that prioritizes realism, moral complexity, and sustained suspense over spectacle. The result is a season that feels larger in scale yet more intimate in emotional impact, reaffirming Hijack as a gripping exploration of crisis, choice, and the fragile line between order and chaos.